Representative Cori Bush from St. Louis. And Cori Bush is part of the squad. Cori Bush, remember, like famously organized like a hunger strike, like stood outside of Congress to highlight like homelessness and what was happening not only in Washington, D.C. and St. Louis, but all around the country where people were getting less and less. And, did that very publicly. We were able to go to D.C. and kind of stand with her. She is under investigation for hiring her husband as security. This is so hilarious to me. Yeah. Like, the guy you want to be president had his daughter, you know what I'm saying? And son-in-law, like, as like secretary, what was his position? Like secretary of something, you know what I'm saying? But negotiating billion-dollar deals with Saudi Arabia for him. Like, they had official positions, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to let that slide because it's a white guy that we like, right? So Cori Bush is under investigation after hiring her husband as security. Obviously, she's been, as a black woman in Congress, I can only imagine the amount of death threats that she gets, Ilhan gets.
Summer Lee.
Right, Summer, AOC, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Rashida Tlaib. Like, we know that they're getting, like, probably, like, countless death threats.
And why wouldn't, if anybody is going to be vested in your interest and your welfare, it's going to be your husband.
But, and by the way, like, we're not that far removed from storming the Capitol with guns and bombs, right? That happened, right?
And feces. On the walls, man. They did a lot of things, bro.
So, a white congressperson and Troy something commented on this investigation of Cori Bush. Did you want to play what he said?
It's disgusting. Trigger warning.
Yes, it's disgusting.
She doesn't even support the police. But the idea to pay her thug money to try to help protect her, this and that, for what? Maybe if she wouldn't be so loud all the time, maybe she wouldn't be getting threats.
Absolutely ignorant.
Well, pause that. Because then, what? You said?
It sounds very familiar.
Have you heard that in this episode, Miracle? Have you heard that from a gentleman wearing flannel in this very episode?
Point him out. I'm just continue.
I'm just a silent African in disguise.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
Wow.
Don't you know what?
Wow.
I'm not even, I can't even touch that right now.
But again, like, play, and Cori Bush, this is Cori Bush's response. Start it over again. We're going to play this congressperson's comments.
In the room with us.
And then
it's the question I want to know.
And then we're going to play Cori Bush's powerful response. Let's go.
She doesn't even support the police. But the idea to pay her thug money to try to help protect her, this and that, for what? Maybe if she wouldn't be so loud all the time, maybe she wouldn't be getting threats.
Absolutely ignorant, anti-black, racist and sexist tropes by a sitting member of Congress who is a colleague. I have never even met this person. I've never even talked to him. And for him to spew something so disgusting, number one, to call my husband my thug, what qualifies him as a thug? What does he know about him to call him a thug? That is
he's a black man.
A dog whistle. And then also to tell me that, I'm being too loud. Me advocating for St. Louis is I'm being too loud. How about if you would have fixed the issues that St. Louis has? I wouldn't have to talk about it. I wouldn't have to fuss about it. But yes, I'm going to be loud, and that's okay. If I want to be loud, if I want to be quiet, that's my prerogative. Him putting his mouth on it just shows racism at its best.
Yes.
Black, loud, and proud. Show up and show out, number one. Number two, as someone who is, firmly in the thug love category, I think it's hilarious how people always want to call us thugs when we do violent things, but then when we're trying to protect our own, we're thugs again. I just find that very fascinating. But her husband is a qualified person who has a former veteran, I believe, who has background in security. He's paid market rate. And this comes at a time when AOC herself said on January 6th, there were the Capitol police officers who looked at her in threatening manner. There is still this idea of missing checks that came from the Secret Service and Capitol Police. There is still the FBI report that said police officers have white supremacists in their ranks.
Yes.
So Cori, who is a advocate for working class people, hired someone that she knew had her back,
Yes.
who she knew wanted to protect her, who she knew was already trained to have the resources, opportunities, and access to protect her. And y'all are mad. Like, y'all are upset when we are not the Black women that Malcolm X talked about. When we are loved, supported, and protected, y'all get upset and you don't know how to deal. And this is like the third or fourth investigation into the fact she hired her husband.
Right.
But at the end of the day, she can hire whatever security she wants, number one. Number two, she can hire private security because her private security does not have the record of harming, killing, unjustly detaining Black people. The difference between these security guards, whether it is religious or not, the people that you were hired to protect you, they don't have a legacy of being slave catchers. They don't have a legacy of shooting children in the back. They don't have a legacy of taking away people's civil rights and liberties. So to sit there and say that because she screams defund the police, that she is not worthy of security and protection is ludicrous and outrageous.
Right.
And the last thing I will say is, if you actually went to Congress to do your job, if you actually went to Congress to protect the American people, we wouldn't have issues of safety because we would have housing, we would have health care, we would have food, we would have access to things. Instead, you run an election to disparage Black women, and that's why we do not feel safe.